Cool. So, first catch up. So we've got a few things to run through. First thing we want to cover off was the email campaign that went out and the recap from that. Yep. So a single sale, we're off the mark. But I think probably the strongest thing is the 30+% open rate. So obviously your audience is super engaged, which is excellent. And the email went to sort of, close to 1,000 people. So we got some really good open rates there. And I think, is that the first campaign that's ever come out of Klaviyo?
Yeah, I think so. I couldn't say with 100% certainty, but it would be a very long time ago if so.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, yeah, I think good start. Obviously, we want to, get you more than just the one sale and get things rolling. So we want to cover off a few things about what we think sort of the next steps are, but also Maddie was going to cover off what else she's built out in Klaviyo at the moment.
I had a little stalk already. It looks really good.
Awesome. Yeah, so we got the welcome series live and we got the abandoned checkout live. And with the new welcome series, we've obviously done the free marshmallow promo there. So we added in the new pop-up on the website. We've also been working on, so originally I had the welcome series set out with 2 emails. So the first one and then a follow-up. And I built that out to 4. So we've got the first one, the follow-up. We'll have follow us on socials and bestsellers, which I'll send through for your approval. I've just did them this morning, so I'll send them through for your approval. There, I think that's sort of everything on the Klaviyo side of things. I just reconnected Meta, so we have the Meta feeding through from Klaviyo feeding to Meta.
Perfect.
Cool. And yeah, something you said to us sort of last time, which I don't think is in the edit that we just posted on YouTube a little while ago, was you sort of saying do we want to have some budget so we can actually start to get some traffic to the site? So I think that's probably where we're at now. We've got this foundation and we, let's pay to get some people to come here.
Yep.
So we started to build out a meta strategy.
Okay.
So we wanted to essentially do some cold selling, which, isn't a big, sexy funnel that's got all these moving different parts. We know you've got a great product. We're just let's get that product in front of people. So yeah, we've built out the strategy to sort of with a conversion based objective. Selling Meta, we want it to try and make just as many sales as it possibly can. We've also got a creative brief for you.
Okay. Because
we went through and looked at your creative so far and what's performed. I think you even told us, which aligns, is that your day in the life of and vlog stuff is what performs the best. So what we want from the creative brief is lean into that, but then also try and skew it a bit more product focus
and evergreen. Because I find a lot of the time, because just of how I operate, I make day in the life vlogs and it's we're going to an expo or we're doing Mother's Day, and so they're kind of specific and then they kind of run out. So I'm guessing that something a bit more evergreen and generalized will be good for the purposes of ads.
Yeah, absolutely. We had a little scroll through and the great content, but it's not stuff you can really use for people that haven't really heard of the brand before. So just focusing on, I think your brand pillars, USPs, and then looking at doing product focused stuff as well.
Yeah, that sounds really good. That'll be good. Just have some direction of what to create. So it's kind of got that, it's great for organic and it's great for our existing audience, but something that kind of translates well for ads. A little bit more strategic is a good idea.
Yeah, for sure. And what are your thoughts on doing I guess just following your journey of making one of the products? Because I think that would be a good way of, cool.
Yeah, easy. Whatever you guys want me to make in terms of content, we can make it happen. That's fine.
Yeah, awesome.
What's the vibe of the 3 videos you're thinking?
I'd say if we can do 5, we'd do sort of 5, brands, explaining the brands, who you are. And then product explainer for your 2 best-selling products, which is the
marshmallow box and the wagon wheel box.
Yep. What they're getting. And then it's an unboxing video as well, what it would look like if they're ordering online. And then we want to focus one that's specifically around gifting. And then there was another concept, which was like a nostalgia hook, which is like, do you remember like wagon wheels, like treat yourself, that sort of thing.
Yeah, that's a cool idea. I wonder if like we can, like lean into that. Yeah, okay, cool. Yep.
I think that sort of gives us like a good scope of like different styles. And then from there we can sort of look at, okay, like which one's working best. Let's try and do something like slightly tweak this and see how we go. And that's where we can work on a bit more like testing there. But I think, I know 5 is a lot, but because I know there's a lot of editing involved, but maybe, just like, I think the product explainer video is probably like the most sort of important, and like what they're getting in the box and sort of those things are probably the ones we want to prioritize to get out there ASAP.
Yeah. And in terms of like the creative vision for those, are you thinking that like you kind of want it to be, do you have any examples of like videos that you've seen that you're like, I can kind of like look at, or like, because I'm like, do you want me to do it where it's like you can't tell, like, I'm like day in my life and then I just happen to be making a wagon wheel from start to finish? Or are you like, and like for that like product explainer where we're like unboxing, am I like creating a video of like me perhaps boxing it and being like, this is how they arrive to you, and like, or am I being like, you want to know what's in life, like, you know what I mean? Like, which sort of way am I coming at it from, do you think? What's your vision?
So I think, and Maddie, you can disagree with me if you want, I think it should be about you. So it's like a day in the life of you making the product.
Yeah,
because I think
I'm thinking about wagon wheels. I'm like, I can make a video where I'm like, day in my life, we've got, like orders, we're doing wagon wheels. Wagon wheels are like I think there's like actually a video I made a long time ago where I was like, I've never like showed you guys the process of making a wagon wheel start from finish, which is crazy because that's like our best selling product. And then I showed all of the steps, but it's a pretty old video and it's not great. I could probably redo that. And so is that what you're thinking, Maddie?
I like that hook at the start, but I don't think we need to put day in the life for like ads content. You don't need to say like day in the life, but just like, I can't believe I haven't showed you guys how to make, how we make our bestsellers. Like that's a really good hook.
Yep. All right.
I think, then what I like about that is the continuity as well. Is like once they click through to the Instagram page, it's like, it's the follow-up that it is you. You're not, a faceless creator that's been paid to come in and be the face of the ad. It's like, this is the actual business owner creating this. Like, this is the person that'll be making this that sends it to you, which I think is, that sort of story ties up neatly.
Yep, perfect.
Is there any sort of assets that you think you have sort of ready to go, or other like UGC pieces you might have gotten over the years, or?
Yeah, I've thought about it a few times, like even myself, and like I do have stuff, but the UGC side of it would be influencers, and I'd have to go back and ask them for usage for ads, and I don't think that would be practical. And then also like what happens is, because like a lot of the time it's like Mother's Day, so the product pictured is like specific, and so then we kind of moved on from that. So I think that the idea as a like obviously like making 5 pieces of content is a lot of effort. I do think that like creating this content with ads in mind, probably the move. I could probably like pull some like B-roll and things like that in the videos that I already have. But probably making them from scratch is the move, because just with the nature of like how seasonal things can be for us, it is actually kind of annoying because stuff doesn't end up being very evergreen in terms of its lifespan content wise.
Okay, cool.
Maddie, if you have any like hooks in particular that you're like, I want you to say XYZ, tell me. Like, let me know. Like, be as specific as you like, because I know that you understand like kind of what you're looking for, and like I can make what you want me to make. So be as specific as you would like.
Okay, cool. I'll go back and have another look through. I might we created a doc, but I might fine tune it before we send it through to you, but it will be before end of day, so we can sort of like, get more rolling there.
And then I'll work on them, and then as I make them I'll send them over and you can let me know what you think. Because like whenever I make content, like for continuity purposes, I always wear the same outfit, wear my hair the same way, the same earrings, like same top, like whole thing. So I'll send them to you, and then if you're like, actually like this needs to be a little bit different or whatever, we can make changes, because I'll be able to sort of like step back in and essentially make it all look cohesive.
Awesome. Sounds great.
Yeah, awesome. This is the dream client scenario. Them being like, yeah, we can produce exactly what you want versus here's what we've got, now deal with it.
Yeah. No, I think it's a good idea to try and be strategic in what we create, because it's going to give us the best chance to get the best result, right? So whatever you guys are needing from me, I'm happy to figure out.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Do you want to talk through your audience strategy?
Yeah. So I was thinking more just I was having a look through your like data on Shopify and on previous campaigns that you've run, and like there's not a huge amount of data, so it's just like, why don't we start with a colder audience, as Caleb said. So created lookalikes from like website visitors, the customer list, Klaviyo list, as like a lookalike audience, and then we've got like a broader ASC audience, which is like Meta's AI. But I've given it signals for age targeting, because I saw most of your like engagement comes from like 25 to like 54.
Yep.
And most orders are coming from Melbourne and Sydney, so I've sort of focused for like the broader ASC audience. We've given it some signals there. But yeah, that's like what we're thinking to start with, and giving them like equal budget and then seeing what we can do from there. I was saying to Caleb, like, let's get more data in, and now that we have the abandoned cart email, there is a lot of like people actually reaching checkout, but they're not purchasing. So I think it was like 9% of people are like reaching checkout, but only 1% are purchasing. So from there, we'll be able to like get those people, but then we'll have more data to look at then to go, okay, well, we're getting a lot of people hitting the website. Like now let's try.
Yeah, is it the website? Like, is there something at checkout that's not like hitting right? Because our checkout page is the very like basic Shopify checkout page. I'm like, is that, making people be like, oh, I'm not sure, like, because I have noticed that before. So it'll be interesting to see. But yeah, I agree with you. It's kind of like there's not enough volume right now to kind of prescribe a solution, because there's not enough information to know what's wrong.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll do broader and then work out whether down the track we're like, okay, no, like let's do like retargeting there and see what's going to bring people back. Yeah, that's sort of where my head's at.
Cool. Just thinking out loud here. And again, what if we also just created a second audience, which I think could be good, like someone who's not essentially retargeting, because like I think we do that a little bit later down the line, but not necessarily a cold audience. What if we run an audience to social engagers but exclude previous purchases? So it's people that are already aware of the brand and somewhat engaged with it.
So I've already got two audiences. So you're saying add this as a third.
Yeah.
And then yep.
Because these people are already like aware of the brand, and maybe like this could just be some static creative. We might not need to do the full.
We could use a catalog.
Yeah, we could use a catalog to just try and go like, you're already aware of the brand. You are one of the people that have, followed the journey. You don't need an explanation of Amanda and seeing you in your film. It's like, cool, just, push you over the edge and buy.
Sounds good. Yeah, I'm open to that. Whatever you guys think on that front, I'm easy.
Cool. Now, would $50 a day work as a budget for you?
What does that work out to a week and a month?
It's like $1,500 a month, basically. $1,520 is 30.4, which is on average how many days there are.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. Yeah, well, obviously we'll keep a close eye on it, and then we'll also, this is where you'll now have a live dashboard that you'll be able to see, the results coming in from the ads, which ads are performing, which ad sets are performing, so that, you can watch along live as well.
I think the cool thing about that too is because we're doing it like we're not like launching everything at once, which is what we do with some clients. We're able to actually see the increase in sales from like starting at
each individual thing. Yeah. I think that's a really good way to do it. I think like from the perspective of like what we're trying to do working together for you, but also for me, I'm like, I would like, as tempting as it is to be like, throw everything, make everything. I'm like, we could be spending a whole heap of time on something and attributing success to it, and it's a waste of money and it's a waste of time and effort. So like me, I'm totally happy to sort of like trickle things in and figure it out. I think it works like twofold. It works for content purposes and also works for our purpose in terms of like understanding what moves the needle in our business and where we should spend our time and our money.
Awesome. Yeah, exactly. That is also like our ethos as well. Like, as a business, we can't just throw everything and see what sticks, because, if we could and we had the silver bullet to just say like, oh my God, we know the exact strategy that's going to make you so much money overnight, we would just do that. But instead, we're like, we're going to slowly roll things out, test things, and build and expand from there.
Yep. Perfect.
Cool.
I was wondering if you guys have noticed anything while you're like on the website or you're looking at stuff, like anything that like is not really your domain, but you're like, I wish that was a little bit better, or like I wish the like the landing page of the website was a little bit like structured differently, or anything like that you want me to action. It's like totally fine if you haven't, but I just thought like I'd put that out there in case you guys were like, I wish you would do this, or I wish that was a little bit different. You don't want to say it. Let me know.
Yeah, for sure. We'll have a look. We'll have a think.
Not to add more things for you guys to do, but like if you come across something like that, just let me know. I'm not sensitive to that. So, like if you're like, I don't know, like, you're like the landing page of the website, like we have that, like big jar of cookie dough at the top, and that's been there for a really long time. Whether you're like, what, like, it's just like, they have to scroll down before they see a product. Like we like to see the product on the, like whatever, if you have anything like that, or you're like.
Yeah. Well, I think, there's probably definitely a few things that, off the top of my head, I think would make a difference. So being able to see products above the fold usually is, a big conversion rate optimization sort of tactic. So shifting things up. I think, you've got the cookie dough up there, but the wagon. Sorry?
It's not our best seller. So is that like valuable real estate that should be, given to something else?
There is an argument that not an argument, a discussion online that I saw that, when you're sending ads to the website, you're not sending them to the homepage. So yes, above the fold makes sense for the homepage, but we're not necessarily paying to send traffic there.
No, they're going to the product page.
We'd be probably looking at a collection page and product page experience there.
Yeah, because the other thing is I do have like a lot of reviews. I don't know if you saw on there, I have that review IO. Do you think I can figure out how the hell to get that to appear properly on the website? Like to make it like a banner at the bottom where it's like customer reviews and like.
It's usually just
it used to be there and now it's gone. So I'll try and figure that out, because there's a lot in there and I don't know if there's anything in there that we could use like creative wise in terms of like reviews. Like I don't know if that's helpful at all. But because I do have quite a few reviews and stuff in there, and it's just like sitting there, and I don't want to get rid of it because I have a lot of data in there. But I just like can't get it to function how I want on the website. But I don't know if that's like something that you guys think is valuable, or if it's like not really.
Oh, absolutely. Social proof, like extremely valuable. Particularly like when you can list it against a product as well. So even, which, obviously it is listed about, below the products. But we'll look into how we can get that back into the main part of the website.
If you can, because I have looked at it several times, and like obviously I'm not a web developer and have no idea what I'm doing, but I used to be able to get it to go on there, and now I like cannot figure it out for the life of me. But that's something that like also like, I don't know if we can use the reviews anywhere else as well, or, I don't know. I just thought I'd mention that one.
Yeah. Cool. If anyone's watching this interview behind the scenes, Maddie's just trying to do it on her laptop right now. But just also back to the conversation about the homepage versus collection page. Absolutely, we're going to send traffic to the collection page, but we know that the majority of Amanda's traffic is coming from organic search, which is probably people searching the brand name, which means they are going to land on the homepage.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
yeah. All right, that's probably more of an apps job.
Yep.
And we might install Clarity on the website too to see how people engage.
Oh yeah, so like one of those things that kind of like tracks the mouse and the, like where they pause and stuff. Yeah, that would be very interesting. It would be interesting for our like little our conversion, like our cart. Like what happens? Where do they stall? Is it?
I don't think it actually gets all the way to cart.
Yeah.
They do say like rule of thumb for conversion rate, like click on everything on your website and go and complete a purchase. They say like every other day. And I know that doesn't, but as you as a small business owner, it does make sense. But if we can set it up like once a month, you go through, try click everything on the website, like Caleb and I too, get like 100% discount code so we can like actually do the full like user experience and just make sure there isn't anything that's like stopping.
So I've done that quite a few times. I actually do that quite a bit just because we have like the postcode dependency with shipping for stuff. So that could be it. And I would say, I wonder if is it possible for us to get any insight on like what they have in their cart when they're abandoning? Because if they have cookie dough, I reckon that would be a good indicator. I wouldn't be surprised if that is the thing that sort of like messes with the conversion, because when we ship cold, depending on their location, it can be a higher than average shipping rate. And so if people aren't aware of that and then they're adding cookie dough as like I'll just grab one of those. And they, you know what I mean? Because like wagon wheels don't require cold shipping, right? So we can ship those with Australia Post, and that has like the flat rate. Whereas if you add cookie dough, it overrides the flat rate, and then it does it based on your postcode, based on the cost of actually getting it there through cold. I'd love to know how many people have cookie dough in their cart and then abandon cart. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're coming to wagon wheels, adding on, and they're like, oh, it's so expensive. And it's like, but if they had have just checked out with wagon wheels, which is what they're actually there for. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. And I reckon we can probably pull that data out of Shopify directly. Like it might be a case of sort of like pulling two reports and then, you know, mashing them together a little bit to figure that out. But I think that's a good call, and that data should be available.
Yeah, because if you're coming to the website for cookie dough, like I know that our customers who love cookie dough are like, doesn't matter what it costs, love it. And I also find that when people order cookie dough, they order a lot because they're like, well, I'm paying for shipping, it's a little bit more expensive, so I'm going to make sure I get like, you know, my supply. And so it's just an interesting thought to me that if we're driving new people and they're not aware of the fact that like the cookie dough is the only thing that needs to be sent cold, you know what I mean? It's just an interesting thought I had, perhaps impacting us. And then whether or not we include that like on, so for example, like, you know how when you're checking out on our website, it has the like upsell, it has like the little bit that says like, maybe you'd like these, perhaps we exclude cookie dough from that, so that we're not accidentally driving customers to a higher shipping rate if that's not actually what they're there for.
We'll try and pull the data first and figure it out.
Yeah, it's just it's a hypothesis. Yeah,
absolutely.
You in the orders tab on Shopify, there is actually a drop-down menu option for abandoned checkouts, which you can look at too.
Cool, I'll have a look.
Yeah, but we'll obviously review too. But yeah, for future reference, if you do like, I wonder, you can look there.
I'll look at that. Cool.
Awesome.
Excellent. Now, the last thing I want to cover off, which I think we did briefly touch on last time, is the next sort of big selling moment for you is Father's Day.
Yeah, which we've got a little bit of time, which is nice.
Yes. But so, you know, I think that's a big opportunity for us because like in the lead up to Father's Day, we'll probably, you know, maybe switch to some more like brand awareness style ads to get in front of people, start to figure out like, you know, subscribe to our mailing list. But yeah, so I think this is sort of what I think our next meeting will be is let's strategically figure out when things are going to go live and what we're going to do in between now and then.
What I'll do with that is if we work backwards from when we want to start launching and stuff, I'll produce because they're usually like a seasonal and like custom, like they change every year. So produce the product so we can get the photo shoot, so we can have the content ahead, you know, and like, because I don't know if we want to like do, you know, like how far in advance we want to start, you know, like ads and things like that. So yeah, we definitely need to work backwards and make sure that we give ourselves enough time to sort the actual product.
Yeah, definitely. Which I think that'd be a cool maybe messaging thing we can do is like you know, you put together a piece of creative talking about, you know, the previous Father's Day products that you've done. And then like, if you want to find out what this year's is, you're going to have to join our mailing list.
Yeah, because actually one year we did bourbon bacon flavored cookie dough.
Oh.
And honestly, sounds like kind of whack. It was so good. But like I haven't done that in such a long time, but that's actually kind of funny. I kind of forgot about that. So yeah, we can talk about that. We have a few different things that we've done. Like we did cookie dough sundae boxes as well one time. So we had like, you could like, it came with all of your mix-ins and your cookie dough and you like made your own cookie dough sundae. They were really popular. But yeah, we've done a few different things for Father's Day. I think we did s'mores brownies once. Yeah.
Amazing. And it's usually they're once off. You're only doing like one per year. So like the bacon and bourbon isn't coming back.
I mean, by popular demand, sure, but no, not really. We usually try to like do something fun each year. Yeah.
Awesome.
but yeah, thinking about that, like I'm like, oh, you know, like what's something that we can do that's like, because that one was really funny because that like got a bit of engagement online and stuff. People being like, what the hell is this? So you know, some ideas around that. You know, if we come up with anything where we can kind of like, you know, do something a little bit out there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll just figure out basically like what our lead time is, what sort of content we need when, so that I can make sure I'm like ahead of the game for you guys.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, cool. We'll work on that plan between now and our next chat. And then, you know, we'll also work on these meta ads getting live. And obviously you're going to have a lot of homework to produce the content we need.
Yes. Yep. So with the content, you'll send me through like a bit of a list of what you're looking for and stuff. And once I've got that and I've had a look at it, I'll give you a bit of an estimate, but I'll definitely get at least one thing done ASAP.
Awesome.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, if we can get like one thing out, better than nothing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'll put it on the priority list.
Awesome.
Cool. Yeah, well, enjoy the rest of your day and your time. And yeah, we'll chat again soon.
Yep, cool, awesome. Thanks, guys.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.